Morning, all. All right, so we've got 10 games tonight. This is very, very busy for a Monday. Not gonna lie, this is the busiest Monday I've seen. So we're doing a live stream for members and patrons early this morning because there isn't any time the rest of the day. At 1 o'clock Pacific, 4 o'clock Eastern, the first game is Arizona at home to St. Louis. And so this ends the 7 straight games between St. Louis and Arizona. St. Louis leads this series 3-2-1. So technically, Arizona's won 3 out of 6. These teams are close. The St. Louis Blues 9-4-2, and Arizona 6-6-2. So we'll see how this goes today. Jordan Kyrou, of course, making headlines, 6 goals and 8 assists for him. Torrey Krug, his scoring's coming on, 1 goal and 8 assists for him so far this year. Clayton Keller, the scoring's picked up for him as well for the Arizona Coyotes. 4 goals, 5 assists. And Jacob Chychrun, the best kept secret on the blue line in the National Hockey League, 3 goals and 8 assists for him for the Arizona Coyotes. At 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, we will get 1, 2, 3, 4 games going. And then one a half an hour after that, 1 an hour after that. Yeah, it's going to be a pretty busy night. So the Islanders are 6-4-3. They're having their first meeting with the Buffalo Sabres, who are finally back on the ice and playing tonight. They're, of course, 4-4-2. It's been well over a week since they played. And we'll see if the rust hurts them. Didn't hurt Colorado last night. So J.G. Pageau has started putting up points for the Islanders. He's got 4 goals and 3 assists for them. And Pulock, 5 assists for them on the blue line. He's been very good, waiting for that first goal. On the Buffalo side, Eichel, 2 goals and 9 assists. The interesting thing is with 11 points in 10 games, and with only 2 of them being goals, you can kind of look at those Eichel numbers and say, a little bit slow for him. And that won't last. Dahlin, 1 goal, 2 assists for him. Those assist totals are way too low for him. Those are going to go up as well. So Buffalo could surprise some people in their return here. Also at 7 o'clock Eastern, the Ottawa Senators, who've been playing much, much better lately and against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Ottawa, of course, at the bottom of the division at 3-12-1. Toronto's at 11-3-1. They've split their meetings so far this year. This is where I normally would put up it's a trap magnet, but I feel like since everybody's in the same division this year, there shouldn't be trap games. There shouldn't be a team that you overlook, so I'm going to say no, but this does kind of feel like a game where maybe the underdog ends up getting the win. So, Colin White, 2 goals and 3 assists for Ottawa. He's been playing better lately. Chabot, 3 goals and 4 assists, 7 points. He's playing a ton on the blue line, which should surprise no one. On the Toronto side, Marner, amazing season for Marner so far. 7 goals, 15 assists, 22 points. And Jake Muzzin, 1 goal, 8 helpers, 9 points for him. He's been very good as well. 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, Columbus in against the Carolina Hurricanes. Columbus 7-5-4, Carolina 9-3. Carolina coming off of beating Dallas because that's what they do. And Domi, 2 goals and 4 assists for Columbus. He's a guy that if he picks it up, and with everybody else producing as well as things have been going for Columbus lately, who knows? Maybe they can go on a bit of a run. Seth Jones, his offense has shown up. He's got a goal and 7 assists. His plus-minus number is still kind of ugly, but the offense is there now. On the Carolina side, Svechnikov, 6 goals, 6 assists. Another solid season for him. Brady Shea with 3 helpers, waiting for a little bit more offense from the blue line from him. 7 p.m. Eastern, Florida in against Tampa. So these teams have split meetings so far. Now they go to Tampa to have their next 2. Florida's 8-2-2. Tampa Bay is 10-2-1. On the Florida side, you've got Sasha Barkov with 4 goals and 8 assists. In 12 games, he's got the 12 points. Uyghur, 4 assists on the blue line. Very good defensive defenseman for the Florida Panthers. On the Tampa Bay side, Braden Point, 6 goals, 10 assists for him. He's had a very good season, of course. He's the guy they're counting on with Stamkos, Kucherov, Cirelli, all them out. Stamkos is back tonight, though. It does appear he may have had a false positive, and he tested negative, so he's back in the lineup. Victor Hedman, 3 goals and 12 assists for him. He's been fantastic. Nothing to make me believe he's not the best defenseman in the National Hockey League. 7:30 Eastern, so half an hour after these games get started. 4:30 Pacific, Chicago, who are 2-0 against Detroit, get to try to go to 3-0. Chicago 7-5-4. Don't sleep on the Hawks. They've looked good lately. And for Detroit, 4-10-2. There's some fighting for just for saving face. It feels like is part of it for the Red Wings, and they're doing well. Patrick Kane, 7 goals, 15 assists, 22 points for him for the Hawks, and Duncan Keith, 5 assists. Still plays a ton for Chicago, and Duncan Keith is still manning that blue line well. On the Detroit side, Bobby Ryan, 4 goals and 4 assists for the veteran there. And Mark Stahl with 2 goals and 2 assists. Might I say, Mark Stahl is playing pretty well for Detroit right now. And there might be maybe a market for his services at the deadline. I know there's cap things about that, but you just never know, right? It's been a weird year. Why not? Then at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, so an hour later, Nashville and against Dallas. And as a fan of Dallas, this one makes me kind of nervous because Nashville desperately needs the win. They're coming off of a loss against Detroit. Could be a bit fired up tonight. Dallas did also embarrass Nashville in one of the 2 matchups between these two and won both of them. So for the 5-3-4 Stars at home against the 6-9 Nashville Predators, this could be one of those ones too that if you want to see an upset tonight, Nashville could be it. Duchesne, 3 goals, 5 assists, playing better lately. Borowiecki, 1 assist. He's got 29 penalty minutes. I think he's been solid on their third pairing. And he's one of the few that's got a positive plus-minus. So, there you go. Rope Hintz, 4 goals, 6 assists. There's all this chatter about him being the best forward for Dallas with Sagan out. I'm not going to argue that he's not. Although Pavelski's still right there when you're talking about it. And then Jamie Alexiak with 2 goals on the blue line. The offense isn't what you might hope for from a top 4 with Alexiak, but he's solid physically, and he does have a couple of goals. And then a half an hour later at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, we get into Winnipeg and Edmonton. So at this point, there will be, 7 games going on at the same time. So that's where things get a little bit tricky for me to follow all of it, but I will do my best. 8-5-1 Winnipeg in against 9-7 Edmonton. Now, this feels like it's a bigger game for Winnipeg than Edmonton, because for Winnipeg at 8-5-1, they're 1-1 against the Oilers this year, and they kind of need to show that they're not going to fall back, because Calgary may very well be a team that can take that next step, and Winnipeg needs to show they're not going to be the team that falls out. So they need a win tonight in Edmonton. Ehlers, 9 goals, 7 assists for Winnipeg, has been excellent the whole way through. And Derek Forbort has been solid for Winnipeg at 1 goal and 5 assists. So if he can keep that up, that's a benefit to them. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 5 goals, 6 assists for the Oilers. And Darnell Nurse, 6 goals, 6 assists. Scoring goals at a higher rate than I thought he would. But, Darnell is a good, solid defenseman all around. And stepping up offensively with Klefbom out. Good for him. Then at 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern, we're going to get into Chapter 5 of the ongoing battle between former Canucks and current Canucks, with the Calgary Flames in against Vancouver. Calgary looking to avenge the loss they suffered against Vancouver, which was the first win Vancouver's had in 4 tries against Calgary. Calgary 7-6-1, Vancouver 7-11. Youch. Johnny Gaudreau, 8 goals, 7 assists for Calgary. He slowed down a little bit recently. Juuso Valimaki, 5 assists for Calgary. And on the Vancouver side, Pettersson, 5 goals, 7 assists, 12 points. His production recently has been good. The problem is he got off to such a slow start that it is still his points per game showing up as kind of low. And Quinn Hughes, 2 goals, 16 assists. So if you look at the offensive side, he's the best point-producing defenseman in the NHL. If you look at the -12 and his plus-minus, it's kind of ugly. But hey, we'll see if Vancouver can win another one against Calgary tonight. See how it goes. And then at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, the last game of the night is Anaheim and San Jose. And I'm going to go ahead and guess a shootout. It's an ongoing weird oddity on this channel for me personally. So watching all these games when the last game of the night is really late and it ends up going to a shootout, it can be kind of like, oh, I can't do the review yet. So it can kind of make my night a little later. And California games very often, especially when you got fans in attendance, would start at 7:30, and then go to shootouts. Now this year I've also noticed California games going to shootouts regularly. It's weird. And these teams, both times they've played each other this season, they've gone to shootouts, and both teams have won at least one. So I'm going to go ahead and guess this goes to a shootout. Now, Anaheim's 6-6-3, San Jose's 5-7-1. They're finally at home. They've got a nice homestand here, and they're going to look to take it out on Anaheim. So for the Ducks, Raquel, I'm still waiting on the goals from Raquel. I know the talent's there. He just doesn't score goals anymore. 1 goal, 5 assists. I just asked the question, when does he go to Boston? How quickly does he end up in Boston, like Nick Ritchie? Cam Fowler, 1 goal and 3 assists for him from the blue line. You do expect more offense from Fowler than what you end up getting. And then San Jose side, Couture, 6 goals, 5 assists. He's just the heart and soul of their forward group. And Vlasic, 2 assists. I know Marleau might be seen as part of that heart and soul, but to me it's really Couture. But yeah, and Vlasic, 2 assists, and his defensive numbers have been kind of poor. However, being paired up with Burns or with Carlson, it's tough because they are so very offensively minded as defensemen. So there you go. And the 3 teams that are still out, Philadelphia, New Jersey, and Minnesota. 1 game postponed from tonight is New Jersey versus Boston. So we'll see when that gets made up and what ends up happening. But we're almost done with games being postponed for now. I will keep that on the board, however, because hopefully it'll stay that way, but we'll see. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.